Good evening, and welcome to History to Sleep By. Tonight, we journey to a place almost forgotten by time. A quiet kingdom that once rested between the great civilizations of the ancient world. You do not need to remember names, or dates, or details. Simply listen, and allow history to carry you gently toward sleep. More than 4,000 years ago, before empires carved their stories into stone, there existed a land called Dilmun. Dilmun lay along the calm waters of the Persian Gulf, in what is now modern-day Bahrain and the eastern coast of Arabia. It sat quietly between Mesopotamia to the north and the Indus Valley far to the east, not powerful enough to conquer, yet perfectly placed to connect. To the ancient Sumerians, Dilmun was more than geography. It was spoken of as a place of purity, a land untouched by sickness, where the sun rose gently each morning. Poetry mixed with reality until myth and memory became one. But Dilmun was real, a living kingdom built not on war, but on patience. Its people were merchants and divers, their lives tied to the gentle rhythm of the tides. From the deep, cool waters of the Gulf, they brought up pearls, small, perfect orbs that held the shimmer of the sea. These were not just jewels, but drops of moonlight, treasured by kings and queens in lands far away. Their ships with simple sails would also carry timber, spices, and precious metals, weaving a silent network of trade across the ancient seas. Dilmun was the quiet heart of this world, a place of meeting, of exchange, a peaceful center in a growing, restless landscape. Imagine the calm harbor, boats arriving not with soldiers, but with goods. The air filled not with shouts of war, but with the quiet negotiations of traders from distant lands, their voices a soft murmur against the sound of the lapping waves. As the sun sets on our story tonight, picture this land of Dilmun, not a grand empire, but a peaceful haven, a place where life moved slowly, measured by the sun and the sea. A testament to the idea that greatness can also be found in stillness, in connection, and in the quiet spaces between the giants of history. Let the image of this gentle kingdom guide your mind into a state of deep and restful calm. Allow the waves of the Persian Gulf to wash over your thoughts, carrying away the day's concerns. Ever wonder what life was like thousands of years ago, long before the hustle of our modern world? Let's take a journey back in time, not to a land of grand empires and towering monuments, but to a quieter place called Dilmun. Nestled in the heart of the Arabian Gulf, Dilmun was a civilization that valued something we often forget today: simplicity. Imagine waking up not to an alarm clock, but to the gentle glow of the rising sun. In Dilmun, life was beautifully deliberate. The day wasn't a race against time. It was a dance with nature. Homes were built low to the ground, a smart design to fend off the intense desert heat. Every drop of water, drawn from ancient wells, was a precious resource, managed with incredible care. Shade wasn't just a comfort. It was a cherished commodity, a place for rest and community under the cool canopy of date palm trees. People followed the natural rhythms of the day, rising with the sun and resting when it set. Their lives weren't driven by relentless ambition, but by a deep connection to the world around them. This connection was woven into every aspect of their daily tasks. Picture a craftsman, his hands covered in wet clay, patiently shaping a pot. Not on a high-speed wheel, but with slow, methodical movements, each piece a testament to his skill and patience. Out on the tranquil turquoise waters, fishermen cast their nets, their work a quiet dialogue with the sea. As the day cooled and the evening breeze rustled through the palms, families would gather. They'd share meals, tell stories, and simply be together. What's fascinating is what we don't find in the archaeological records. There are no grand inscriptions of kings demanding colossal statues or vast palaces built in their honor. Instead, the evidence points to something more profound. Lives lived steadily, day by day, generation after generation. It's a powerful reminder that sometimes History whispers its greatest stories instead of shouting them from the rooftops. As the sun would finally dip below the horizon, painting the sky in shades of orange and purple, a deep peace would settle over the land. The stars would emerge, a brilliant, glittering blanket across the desert sky, moving in their slow, cosmic dance. The people of Dilmun would rest under this celestial canopy, their day's work done. Their minds were free from the endless notifications and pressures that we face today. They found peace in the quiet of the night, and now, perhaps you can too. As we close this chapter on Dilmun, take a moment. Breathe in and breathe out. Let the stillness of that ancient world inspire a moment of calm in your own. Let go of the day's worries and allow yourself to rest, just as they did so many centuries ago. Hey everyone, and welcome back to our journey through the annals of history. Today, we're not storming castles or deciphering cryptic prophecies. Instead, we're taking a quiet walk through the ancient land of Dilmun, a civilization that flourished in the Persian Gulf thousands of years ago. What's fascinating about Dilmun isn't a story of grand conquests or towering empires, but a tale of serene, harmonious living. Forget what you know about the relentless march of history. Dilmun offers a different perspective, a lesson in tranquility that feels more relevant today than ever. So let's leave the noise of the modern world behind and step into a world where life moved at the pace of the sun and tides. Imagine waking up not to an alarm, but to the gentle golden light of dawn filtering into your home. This was the start of a typical day in Dilmun. Their homes, often built from palm fronds and mud brick, were cleverly designed to stay cool under the scorching sun. They were low-slung, humble structures built for comfort, not for show. Life revolved around the essentials. Water, drawn from precious wells, was the lifeblood of the community. Every drop was used wisely, a testament to their deep respect for nature's resources. Shade wasn't just a comfort. It was a cherished commodity, a place for community, conversation, and rest. The people of Dilmun lived by the rhythm of the sun, rising with its first rays and winding down as it dipped below the horizon. Their days weren't dictated by deadlines or endless ambition, but by the natural, predictable cycles of the world around them. It was a simple, deliberate existence, grounded in the here and now. Now, let's picture the people themselves, their hands shaping the world around them. A potter sits in the shade, his fingers patiently coaxing a lump of clay into a beautiful, functional vessel. Each piece isn't mass-produced. It's a unique creation bearing the marks of its maker. Out on the tranquil, turquoise waters of the Gulf, fishermen cast their nets, their movements practiced and unhurried. They worked in harmony with the sea, understanding its moods and respecting its power. As evening approached, families would gather outside their homes, sharing a simple meal as the cool sea breeze offered relief from the day's heat. It was a time for connection, for sharing stories, for simply being together. What's striking is what archaeologists don't find. There are no grand monuments built to glorify powerful kings, no records of vast armies marching to war. Instead, the evidence points to a society focused on community, craftsmanship, and a steady, peaceful existence. It is a powerful reminder that a society's greatness isn't always measured in gold or stone. Sometimes history's most profound lessons are found in the quiet whispers of everyday life. As dusk settled over the sandy landscape, the world of Dilmun would grow still. The stars, brilliant and unobscured by city lights, would begin their slow, majestic dance across the night sky. The day's work was done. The community was at peace. It was a time for rest, for reflection, and for dreams. In a world that constantly demands more from us, more speed, more productivity, more noise, the story of Dilmun offers a sanctuary. It shows us that there's strength in simplicity, wisdom in slowing down, and a deep, abiding peace in living in tune with the natural world. So, as we end our journey tonight, perhaps we can take a page from their book. As ancient Dilmun rested under the vast starry sky, maybe now you can find a moment of peace and rest too. Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're journeying back in time, not to a land of towering pyramids or colossal temples, but to a place defined by a profound and lasting silence. We're exploring the ancient civilization of Dilmun, a culture whose most enduring legacy lies scattered across the modern landscape of Bahrain. For thousands of years, Dilmun was a thriving hub of trade, a vital link connecting the great civilizations of Mesopotamia and the Indus Valley. It was a place mentioned in ancient Sumerian texts, described as a paradise, a pure and bright land where sickness and death were unknown. But today, Dilmun is remembered most clearly through its silence. More than 170,000 burial mounds cover the land, each one a single life. Imagine flying over this landscape. From the air, it looks almost otherworldly, a vast field of small, man-made hills stretching as far as the eye can see. This isn't just a royal cemetery reserved for kings and queens. It's the final resting place for an entire society. Archaeologists believe these mounds were built over centuries, from around 2200 BC onwards. Each mound is a carefully constructed stone chamber covered with earth and gravel. It was a monumental undertaking, a testament to a deep-seated reverence for the dead that permeated every level of Dilmunite society. Now, let's get a closer look. What do we find when we peer inside these ancient tombs? This is where the story of Dilmun gets truly fascinating. Unlike the lavish burials of Egyptian pharaohs or Mesopotamian kings, these tombs are humble. There are no golden crowns, no towering statues of powerful rulers. Instead, we find simple offerings placed with care. Things like pottery, perhaps once filled with food or drink for the journey to the afterlife. We find seals, small, intricately carved stones used for trade, sometimes bearing the owner's name or profession. We even find tools, weapons, and personal ornaments. What does this tell us? It suggests a culture that honored everyone, not just the elite. While there are variations in the size and contents of the mounds, indicating some social hierarchy, the sheer number of burials and the personal nature of the grave goods point to a society with a strong sense of community. Each person, whether a merchant, a craftsman, or a farmer, was deemed worthy of a proper burial and a passage into the next life. This egalitarian spirit is a stark contrast to many other ancient civilizations, where the afterlife seemed to be a privilege reserved for the powerful. The simplicity of these tombs also speaks volumes about their beliefs. There was no elaborate cult of personality, no deification of rulers. Their focus was on the individual and their journey. The artifacts left behind were practical, personal items, the tools of their trade, the pots they ate from, the seals that represented their identity in a bustling commercial world. It's a deeply human collection, a quiet reflection of everyday life. As we look out over these fields of mounds, with the wind whispering over the sand and the light beginning to fade, you can't help but feel a sense of peace. The story of Dilmun isn't one of epic battles or grandiose monuments. It's a story of people, of trade, of a community that valued each and every one of its members, even in death. Dilmun remained quiet. It's a silence that speaks louder than any king's decree. A powerful reminder that a society's true greatness can often be found in the simple, shared dignity it affords all of its people. What do you think these humble burials tell us about the people of Dilmun? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. and fragrant spices from lands far to the east, all converging on Dilmun's busy ports. Dilmun wasn't a mighty empire with vast armies. Its power lay in its position as the ultimate middleman. It was the ancient world's grand central station, connecting the great civilizations of Mesopotamia and the Indus Valley. They didn't produce the copper or the pearls themselves, but they controlled the flow. They were the masters of logistics, the brokers of trust, the ones who ensured that the lifeblood of commerce kept pumping across the known world. For over 2,000 years, Dilmun thrived. Its merchants grew wealthy, its cities expanded, and its unique burial mounds, thousands of them, dotted the landscape like sleeping giants, a testament to a prosperous and stable society. They built temples, created their own distinct style of seals used to stamp clay documents, and lived in a delicate balance, a peaceful hub in a turbulent world. Their existence was a quiet hum of activity, the rhythmic loading and unloading of ships, the chatter of different languages in the marketplace, the steady, reliable pulse of trade. They were the silent partners in the story of civilization, the essential link that made the great empires possible. But then the world began to change. Dilmun did not fall to a conqueror's sword. Time, in its relentless, gentle way, just kept flowing, leaving Dilmun behind in its wake. And so the great kingdom of Dilmun rests. It sleeps beneath the sands of Bahrain, beneath the layers of memory. It exists now in whispers, in the clay tablets of long-dead kings, and in the artifacts pulled from its silent burial mounds. A kingdom that existed to connect the world, and then, when its purpose was served, gently let go. It's a quiet reminder that not all endings are violent. Some are just a slow fade, a peaceful return to the earth, a story that ends not with a bang, but with a soft, final sigh. Thanks for watching.